I was reading through the comments on our last video, and one particular message from a viewer named Selina stopped me in my tracks. She wrote, "I am taking 15 medications. I feel like a zombie. I don't feel like I matter anymore." She isn't alone. Another viewer, Graham, shared that he was on 5 different medications, but after working with his doctor to drop down to 2, he finally felt alive again. If you feel like you rattle when you walk, or like you are just a guinea pig for a system that puts profit over your well-being, you are right to be suspicious. As we age, protecting our hearts becomes the single most important job we have. You eat the right foods. You try to manage your stress. You go to your checkups. But what if the biggest danger to your heart health isn't your diet? What if it isn't your genetics? What if the threat is sitting quietly in your medicine cabinet right now? Today, leading cardiologists are sounding the alarm. They are not warning you about rare diseases or complex surgeries. They are warning you about common pills. Pills that millions of older adults take every single day, often without realizing the risk. Some of these are prescription drugs given to you by doctors who are simply following a protocol. Some are over-the-counter bottles you grab at the grocery store. But here is the truth that often gets ignored. When you are over 60, your body changes. Your liver and kidneys do not process chemicals the way they used to. What was safe at 40 can be dangerous at 70. In this video, we are going to uncover the 5 specific types of medication that cardiologists warn may be quietly damaging the hearts of older adults. We will count them down from number 5 to the number 1 biggest threat. We will explain exactly how they damage your cardiovascular system using simple science that you can understand. And most importantly, we will tell you what questions you need to ask your doctor today to stay safe. Let's begin with number 5. This is perhaps the most common drug in the world. You probably have a bottle of it in your kitchen or your bathroom cabinet right now. We are talking about non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs, or NSAIDs. You know them better as ibuprofen, Advil, Motrin, Aleve, or prescription versions like diclofenac and Celebrex. When you have arthritis pain in your knees or a stiff back in the morning, these pills feel like a miracle. They knock out the pain so you can get through your day, but for the aging heart, they are a hidden trap. The FDA strengthened their warning on these drugs back in 2015, yet so many seniors are still popping them like candy because they assume that if you can buy it without a prescription, it must be safe. Here is the science of why this is dangerous. Your kidneys act as the filtration system for your blood. To work properly, they need a wide-open, steady blood supply. NSAIDs work by blocking certain enzymes in your body called prostaglandins. These enzymes cause pain and inflammation, which is why blocking them makes you feel better. But here is the catch. Those same enzymes are also responsible for keeping the blood vessels leading to your kidneys open. When you take these pills regularly, you are effectively clamping down on the hose that feeds your kidneys. When the kidneys get stressed and lack blood flow, they stop filtering out salt and water efficiently. Your body starts to hold on to fluid. You might notice your ankles swelling or your rings feeling tight on your fingers. That is not just a cosmetic issue. That is fluid retention. To your heart, that extra fluid is a nightmare. It increases the volume of blood your heart has to pump. It drives up your blood pressure. And if you have any underlying weakness in your heart muscle, which many seniors do, this extra fluid can tip you over the edge into congestive heart failure. Studies have shown that regular NSAID use can double the risk of hospitalization for heart failure in older adults. It acts fast, too. The risk increases within the first week of use. So what is the alternative? If you are dealing with chronic pain, do not just accept the pill. Ask your doctor about topical gels. Voltaren gel, for example, puts the medicine right on the knee or the back. It absorbs into the joint to help the pain, but very little of it enters your bloodstream, keeping it away from your heart and your kidneys. Let's move to number 4. This category of drugs is often prescribed for anxiety or sleep. They are called benzodiazepines. You might know them by names like Xanax, Valium, Ativan, or Klonopin. You might be wondering, how does a sleeping pill hurt my heart? The damage here is indirect, but it is devastating. The American Geriatrics Society has placed these drugs on the Beers criteria list, which is a list of medications that are potentially inappropriate for older adults. As we age, our metabolism slows down, our livers shrink, and become less efficient at breaking down toxins. A pill that lasts 8 hours in a 30-year-old might stay in a 70-year-old system for 40 hours. This creates a state of constant, low-grade sedation. You wake up groggy, your reaction times are slow, your balance is off. The cardiovascular risk here comes from trauma. Benzodiazepines are one of the leading causes of falls and hip fractures in the elderly. When a senior falls and breaks a hip, it is a massive cardiovascular event. The trauma puts immense stress on the heart. The surgery to fix the hip puts stress on the heart. The immobility afterwards leads to blood clots and pneumonia. The statistics are grim. A significant percentage of seniors who suffer a hip fracture die within a year, often from cardiovascular complications like heart attacks or pulmonary embolisms. Furthermore, there is a phenomenon called pseudo-dementia. These drugs can make you confused and forgetful, mimicking Alzheimer's disease. We have seen comments from viewers whose parents were diagnosed with dementia, only to make a full recovery once they were weaned off these sedatives. Before you accept a diagnosis of dementia, or before you take a pill for anxiety, look at what is in your cabinet. There are safer alternatives for sleep and anxiety that don't turn your brain into a fog and put you at risk of a life-ending fall. Now we arrive at number 3. This is a pill taken by millions to combat acid reflux and heartburn. They are called proton pump inhibitors, or PPIs. Common names include omeprazole, Prilosec, Nexium, and Prevacid. Heartburn feels terrible. It can even mimic the feeling of a heart attack, so people take these pills to protect themselves. But long-term use of PPIs has a dark side for the heart. These drugs are very effective at shutting down the acid pumps in your stomach. But here is the problem. Your body needs stomach acid to absorb vital nutrients. One of the most critical minerals your heart needs is magnesium. Magnesium is the electrolyte that keeps your heart beating in a steady rhythm. It acts as the gatekeeper for the electrical system of the heart. When you suppress stomach acid for years, your body stops absorbing magnesium efficiently. You can take all the supplements you want, but without acid to break them down, they pass right through you. The FDA has issued warnings that low magnesium levels associated with long-term PPI use can lead to serious arrhythmias, irregular heartbeats that can be fatal. There is also emerging research suggesting that PPIs might impair the lining of your blood vessels. Your blood vessels are lined with a thin layer of cells called the endothelium. These cells release nitric oxide, which helps your vessels relax and keeps your blood